Hi everyone, it is me, Tuxedo Mask, or Evening Wear Hide, or even, and today I'm going to talk about what happened to my leg. As you know, that on my leg first broke off. Well, there are many times in the past where the leg came out, but I could smoothly pop it back into stead. And that would have been anywhere from 2012 YL to 2003 between FYL. And then I didn't really think anything of it because after that the leg seemed to be in. Well, that may have been true right up until someday, and and someday in the 8th month of 2007 between YL, when Sailor Moon was fighting the Miz, my leg fell out, and the hole or whatever the thing, whatever you call it, that kept my leg into stead broke right out, off, and it could never be seeked. So for about 7 years, I had to have this band or whatever, this thing wrapping around my foot, around really both my feet, to be earnest with you. And then not too long ago it happened again. Only instead of having some kind of wire or whatever wrapped around my foot, it ended up being this duct tape or this duct film or some kind of film. So yeah, that's how it happened. And keep in mind, that is most likely what anyone at some doll healing house would do if you knew how to get a hold of one. I guess you could do some looking on the interweb to seek someone who runs what is known as doll healing houses. But they're not cheap. First you have to get a hold of them, then you have to set a time, then you have to mail out, you have to send out your doll or dolls to wherever they're living, and then you got to yield for their time, for either, looking at the doll, buying whatever you need to do to heal the doll, and then you also have to yield for the shipping back of the doll, I believe. And the doll healing house man or woman, whoever owned it or ran it, would not really charge a lot for it. On top of the grounds that Irwin and Bandai no longer make these dolls. And we didn't have to do any of that. As we say, we had some kind of film some film around my leg now that is keeping my leg instead. And hopefully it holds for a long, long time. Now, some of you folks might think, well, how did it happen? To be earnest with you, sorry for that cough. I do not know how it happened. All I know is that one day I came out like I always do to help Sailor Moon out. Only this time it was against the Miz or Michael Mizinian or whatever you want to call him. And next thing you know, boom, plop, out goes my leg. And unlike all the other times it happened where I could just put the leg back into its hole, the thing itself broke off. So there wasn't any way, to put it back into stead. So then, for about 7 years, starting on that day, I had to have some kind of string or whatever, band, whatever it was, holding my leg in the stead for about 7 years. And then, me, being dumb, started working the stands. Now, keep in mind, the stands that Irwin Toy makes for both the Irwin Toy Sailor Moon dolls back in the day and the Bandai Sailor Moon dolls are the same kind of stand. The only unlikeness is one stand's made for boots, stands made for shoes, and that's it. There is really no big unlikeness because you're either wearing shoes or you're wearing boots in Sailor Moon's world. So, and I got myself into that stand sundriest times or many times in the past without no mishap. Only that day it happened to happen. And it's not as smooth as you think, because then you gotta take all my, well, first, there's a lot of things you gotta take off. And then after you even when they put film around my leg, they still had to fuck around and put everything back on. So yeah, it did take some time. But that is what happened. And hopefully that is the last time that that ever happens to me. Because you know how much this doll of mine goes for on eBay or Etsy, or or Overstock or Deal Dash or whatever, any other websites that would sell it. You know, they're not cheap. You know, so that's just talking about what happened to my leg about 7 years ago, and what happened to my leg like what 2 months ago. You know, so if you like this film, then follow me over here at Sailor Moon for Life. Don't forget to share and playlist and thumb up this film. Don't forget to give your feedback on this film. And don't forget to, hit that bind and also that ringer to let you know when the next upload, live stream, or short's been done. I, Tuxedo Mask, or Evening Wear High Darian, and I'll see you later. Goodbye. Farewell. So long.